Okay, now we're actually recording. I'm not dead. My god. I'm alive. Yeah, I haven't been doing much twerk lately. So we'll hop in here, Victoria 2. There's some stuff I've been working on, but none of it's finished. I'm just running a test game right now. How late do we want to run it? Honestly, probably everything I want to see is done by 1850, but running games until late game is helping me figure out some pacing stuff later on too. So like, I'm pretty ambivalent. There we go. I was thinking ambiguous. I'm like, that ain't it. Yeah, disable anarcho-liberal. It's dumb. Workplace events are fine. Fuck bankruptcy events. They're just spammy as hell. Maybe there's something to this. Disable trade policy. Nope. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Hide those options. Don't tell me that that's a thing. Native status. Open. Not the Suppression Act, not the Integration Act, but the Protection Act. Yep. Never gets done. Never gets done. Why does it never get done? Well, the prereq for this. All core provinces of the United States are... For all core provinces owned by the United States, they're not in a colonial state. Any pop is a primary culture. Citizenship policy is either full citizenship or we have a proletarian dictatorship. We have the tech sociology, or we have the equality, we have biologism, we have money, and do we not have equality? What we do, right? Liberty. Fuck me. Changing your national value is insanely difficult. So, okay, that's why this is never actually available. All of these call for national value of equality, which never change. This is super weird. So I've never actually taken that close of a look at this particular event before, or decision. You can't do this. Your national value doesn't change. I'm pretty sure you can't change that. Very weird. Or, you have a 30% socialist upper house. Or 30% liberal. And money and biologism and equality. God, the way this breaks down is not clear, like when it's one set or the next or statement, because there's or statements in the or statements with ands in there. So there's ands with ors and ands and ors. And I understand what this is saying. I'm not clear on or all of the below. There's at least 15% socialist and 15% liberal in the upper house. So that bottom one happens all the time. I think it's the national value not being a quality thing, and to my knowledge, that doesn't change. Okay, well, whatever, not a big deal. So I've run a couple of fun test games. You know what? Let's exit and take a look at those before we hop in here for the long haul. My last two test games, I've changed some stuff significantly since then. Had one here in 1915. I was trying to figure something out with Canada. Don't remember what. This is an older save. Yeah, it is. What happened to the... oh, yeah, this game ended. I'm like, what happened to this? Yeah, alright. Here's one that's from, like, probably a month ago now, or the beginning of the month. Cuba by event, Sonora by event, Rio Grande Republic by Rio Grande deciding to become a state, and then taking these states away from Mexico because it kept becoming a great power and invading Central America. So it was punitive. Released Jamaica. Right, this is before I went off on that whole tear about fuck letting the British control India from the beginning of the game. And then I went in and removed British control of India at the beginning of the game. They get it eventually, but the East India Company starts out with control. Then my last game, I stopped in 1926. It was pretty stable and boring. Situation I got myself in here, which was driving me insane, is there's just a fucking perpetual influence stalemate going on up here. I can't for the life of me get either the Maritimes here or Newfoundland out of the sphere of the United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom has held on to this these North American colonies. I could do it by war, but hasn't quite twerked out that way. Yucatan rejoined Mexico peacefully. Mexico is not even like a secondary power. They've been struggling hard. I've kept Yaqui around, and I think this is a big part of why Mexico isn't doing so hot, because these precious metals are pretty important to Mexico, and keeping them out of Mexican hands had deleterious effects on Mexico's development. This was a weird game. I got Canada back when Canada was only about this big. I got the event to rip them out of the sphere, so I got to make sure all my other annexed North American nations events are working, and they are, and that's dandy. So something that I've changed, and it's something we'll kind of be keeping an eye on, and I say kind of very loosely. I fucked around with Mexico a little bit. I mean, I've done more than this, but this is what I did most recently. So Mexico's army doesn't start down here in Mexico City, it starts out here in Laredo, because at the time, and Mexico's army was less than 6,000 strong, 6,500 strong, and it was wildly irregular. To be fair, Texas shouldn't have 9,000 troops. They should have like 3,000. But Texas never wins the war if they only have 3,000, so that's why I've kept this in. But this is on the cutting block, at the very least, making the Texans not have cavalry at the beginning, because it's a stretch to let them have infantry and not irregular troops. Anyhow, Mexico's army should be here because it just got done crushing a revolt in Zacatecas. In late 1835, early 1836, they moved up here. There was some stuff going on in Matamoros and Laredo. And around this time, they should be in like Matamoros or Laredo. They're marching towards San Antonio. Now, the Texans had actually withdrawn most of their forces from San Antonio back to Austin. But the AI loves to just immediately move down to Laredo regardless. We'll see this from the American perspective, because I'm not playing as Mexico. We're going to have California break away, because it did break away. Alta California, Northern California, Alto California, it's Alta, broke away. Technically, they declared independence. They wrote up a national constitution. They even made their own Lone Star flag, because the governor... Oh my god. Yeah, just pop your spine 7 ways a Sunday. The governor of California was against the centralization efforts and wanted a more federalized constitution. Well, that's what a lot of, like, Zacatecas and even the Rio Grande, Republic of Rio Grande revolt about, and bunch down here, is the centralization and constitutional reforms at this time going on in Mexico. So basically they're like, fuck you, leave us alone. Mexico does not declare war on California. California immediately has problems. They successfully take the capital in Monterrey. They have some successes in San Diego and Southern California, but then the governor or president of Alta California immediately starts almost getting into a civil war in California, pitting Northern California and Monterrey against San Diego. Mexico tried to send in a new military governor who actually started a bit of a war in California with the Californios chasing them out and reappointing. I want to say his last name is Alvarez. It's not Alvarez. Fuck, I don't remember his name. Reappointing the governor, and then Mexico saying like, okay, yeah, you can stay a governor as long as you rejoin Mexico. And he went for it. So, I don't know, man. They declare independence. There's a 90% chance that Mexico lets them go. Then Mexico gets an event a year later where they just re-annex them. It's a thing. I don't know if that event works properly, to be fair. I think it does. It should. I haven't tested it, because I'm just gonna let it play out. The United States has a chance to steal California in that time frame. If by 1937 you somehow get California into your sphere as the United States, you can then annex California. Well, you can then keep Mexico from re-annexing California. I don't even know if you can do it in a year. But it's there. It's an option. Does it work? I will try. So that's some stuff. I rebalanced the military in Mexico. You really can't tell that at a glimpse. They still have way too many divisions possible. But that's fine. And lastly, I fucked with the Federal Republic of Central America, or the Republic of Central America, or the UP. God, it's called so many different fucking things. Basically, they started out with 3 times as many rebels as this. There shouldn't be any, is the thing. There shouldn't be any rebels at all. But I was concerned that Central America wouldn't break apart properly if I got rid of all the rebels. This is still very much a work in progress. I don't really understand how the Central America breaking apart event chain works. And like, there are certain event chains that definitely in the code seem like halfway done and refer to events that don't exist anymore. Like, there's some weird shit. There's some weird shit going on in this mod, because HPM notably isn't just one mod. It's a bunch of different frameworks, you know, stuffed together and made to play nice. And most of the time they do, you know, kind of play nice, but not all the time. So we're just going about our business. Really, all I'm interested in seeing right now is how the fuck this weirdness plays out with California, if you're able to steal it. I want it to be a possibility. I do. But it's really something you gotta really push. So let's buy a bunch of railroads here. Let's actually buy railroads in Texas, which is something I never do. To speed up getting them in our sphere. Do I want to decrease spending? No. There's something else I want to do before I... Oh, right. All these fucking show options. All these things I just did. No anarcho-liberals, they're dumb. Bankruptcy events are spammy and dumb. Is that it? Never organize Indian territory. Yeah, that's it. Hide those options, thank you. How about a bike? Oh right. Native status, just leaving this unchecked, just in case it ever actually becomes available. And I know that it won't, but you know, we'll just go ahead and do that. We just won the Second Seminole War, I guess. I don't know, man, if I should even keep that together. Why are we going to Lake Charles? Why did I click Lake Charles? Lake Charles. I meant Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Beautiful. Let's keep an eye on Mexico. They want military access. I'm gonna say no. Texas should do better in this war than they have historically, I should have formed an alliance with them right from the get-go, not improve relations, but that's fine. Here's their come help us event. Do I want to be funding the military right now? Not really. Jesus Christ. Artisans are having a bad time in the United States right now. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Do I want to... Oh, I don't want to decrease taxes. You know what? I'm going to do the historical thing. Bam, tariffs. Boom. Boom. Fuck it. I'm doing this historical as hell. No, we're gonna have this be 25%, 25%. That's maxed out. And then we're just gonna use tariffs to balance the budget. Because that's the way. Well, that's the way Whigs wanted to do it. Democrats didn't want to do that at the time. But I'm fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. This is on a 3-month mean time to happen modifier, so it really should just happen like any fucking day now. What's the difference? Ohio, Tennessee, Massachusetts. Yeah, definitely Ohio. But seriously, Mexico starts out with 6,000. They have 3, 6, 9, 12 more immediately. This is why I give Texas such a big fucking army at the beginning, because Mexico could just summon dudes out of thin fucking air. Which is very silly. Very, very silly. Yo. Do we want to... No, I don't want to, but I probably should. Baton Rouge. I need 6 cannons. Need is a strong word. I kind of sort of want 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is how many I want, not 6. 5. Oh no, we have a deficit. It's a fake deficit, though. It's an imaginary deficit. Gonna boost relations with Canada. You can get Canada into your sphere very easily early on. Very, very easily you can sneak it past the United Kingdom. No? There it is. There it fucking is. Alright, California. Alliance. Would not accept. June. I'm not backing off of Canada, though. Fuck. Yeah, okay, you gotta prioritize here. I like this. I mean, it's annoying, but I like this. Having to prioritize between California, Texas, and Canada. You can't do 3 things at once very efficiently. Probably? I mean, I'm assuming this doesn't work. I'm gonna try it, but I'm assuming you're gonna have to prioritize who you're focusing on. Right now, it's gonna be Canada. The sooner we get that out of the... We didn't even have Texas in our sphere. That's... They'll do that, it's just not very likely. Okay, well that resolved that. So Texas actually did, just making a point here, Texas actually did immediately apply for statehood upon gaining independence, but the United States didn't do it. Jackson at this time was a little afraid of doing it, but right towards the end of his administration, he was about to flip the script on that and actually allow Texas to join, but he never did, and then Van Buren was a big old pushover and didn't do it, and also Van Buren had a lot of other problems. Do we want an alliance with Yaqui? Honestly, yeah. Yeah, you know what, Yaqui, we can be friends. You never have an army. You're too small to have an army. I don't think I've even given you 1,000 soldiers. No, I sure haven't. You're like all laborers. You're 1% soldier. But, you know, you're a helpful ally to have, because if nothing else, it denies Mexico access to this gold, which is incredibly useful for their economy. It's really the most kind of spiteful relationship you can have. You know what? Yes, this so I can see what's going on. So you seem to be clearing this up, which is good. So there were rebellions going on in Central America at this time. It was mostly in... None of those are the right words. So Guatemala, right? The first word that came to mind was Guadalupe. No, that's not what this is called in Guatemala over here. There was a cholera epidemic, I think, in 1835. Priests in very rural communities started blaming the cholera epidemic on the liberals who had taken control of the government and moved the capital down to San Salvador from Guatemala City, blaming these liberals and rallying up the indigenous population through a bunch of like fake miracles and weird shit. Apparently the government out of San Salvador responded in force, which kind of makes sense, which just pissed off the local population more, but the army was never really able to completely get rid of the rebel threat because the rebels just kept on going back into the fucking mountains or the jungle and leaving settled areas and then coming back as soon as the army left. And I mean, it's really not 100% clear to me right now the entirety of what was going on in Central America at this time, but there's quite a few things. Like Costa Rica was pretty pissed off and was thinking about leaving the Union because this little bit of land right here had been annexed by Colombia, and the rest of Central America did fuck all about it. Didn't even protest. Just like, oh, well, that sucks, Costa Rica. Not my problem. Guatemala was dealing with a lot of internal problems. Honduras just kind of wanted to go their own way, as did Nicaragua. And El Salvador was the last one. El Salvador stuck with the Union towards the very end. You know, we see Los Altos appear a lot. We shouldn't. Los Altos is a very ahistoric nation. They existed for like all of 1 year, rebelling against Guatemala, and were reconquered. This is a part of Guatemala. And anyhow, I've been reading about Central American history. Can you tell? I haven't been reading as much as I would like, to be honest, because it's all very poorly translated. That's huge. I would love an alliance with you. That'll make it a little bit easier to make friends with you. So we'll see. Right now, California has an infamy of 5.5. Well, how did that happen, Alex? Are they declaring war on anyone? No. So, you know how California releases with these cores? That's not all that California, Alta California had claims on at the time. This is what they had claims on. You know, what we think of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. For the most part, Arizona north of, I forget the name of this river. And the Rockies up here for whatever fucking reason. And also Baja California. But I didn't want, when California revolted, to take Baja with it or to take anything else, because they didn't. I mean, they barely took Monterey. Giving them Mojave, LA, San Diego's already generous. So we'll see this in 1840 when Rio Grande revolt as well. I've kind of set them up with a similar situation. I think you could probably get to 100 by the right date. If you just only influence... You gotta get lucky, I think. Is it 1837 or did I make it 1838? I think I made it 1838. We may have a chance to get California here. Not much of a chance. But with some of it, yeah, we're hemorrhaging money. Why are we hemorrhaging money? Military spending. Military spending and national stockpile. And you know what? Oh no, we have a deficit. Well, okay, now there's nothing I can do about the deficit, so... Let's hope it's actually the military spending, because there's nothing else I can do about this now. Okay. Alright. Canada's given us trouble. That's not great. I think we should be able to get to 100. we might not be able to get Canada. This is a fun pacing experiment to see if you can get Canada and California. I don't think you should be able to. If I can, that's fucking sweet, and I'm not gonna change it, but yeah, we just got banned from Canada. Okay, so it looks like expending the influence necessary to get California friendly allowed us to be eclipsed by the United Kingdom up here in Canada. But, you know, it's not over. You have the entire fucking game to steal Canada. California, you only have until 1838, I think. You would really expect that I'd remember the arbitrary date I set on this? I don't. I don't at all. It's I did it yesterday, and I don't remember my own code. Oh, whoops. We should be educating folks in Virginia. I hope they do away with this national focus thing. It's kind of a neat mechanic, but it's so micro, and it doesn't provide very useful feedback to the player in terms of notifying you when you're not using it, or encouraging you to use it, or suggesting what is most efficient or least efficient way to use it. I don't know. Suffice it to say, I'm not the biggest fan in the world. I don't hate it. It's just, it could be a lot better. Okay, so now we're gonna have to tax somebody here. Fine. Fine, we'll tax the poor. I just want to use tariffs to prove that the Whigs had a point, and they did have a point. I've talked about this before. The United States did not have an income tax until the Civil War, the end of the Civil War, somewhere around there. In this time, the revenue of the United States came from other kinds of taxes, but more importantly, it came from tariffs. But tariffs are not super well represented in Victoria 2 vanilla. They're a little better in HPM. Yeah, that's why the political apparatus of the country, we are really... Holy shit, November of 1837. Okay, you can get California. Good news! You can steal California from Mexico. Cool, I want you to be able to do that. If you get lucky, and we did get lucky, and you beeline it, and we did beeline it, you can steal California. So now 1838 hits, and nothing happens. And I'm gonna plop in a save here, so we can take a look at poor Mexico and their inability to take this decision that they should have access to. We go to Mexico. All right. Oh, you got some policies. You have like so many policies. Let's see here. Yes, Mex Annex California _ title, Mex Annex California _ description. Ah, it's art. Yeah, this is definitely a work in progress. So, California Republic is at peace, but is in the sphere of influence of a nation. That is not Mexico, therefore Mexico cannot do this Annex California event. This just inherits the California Republic. Nice and easy. So if you do not sphere California by 1838, Mexico gets it back. Now, there is some precedent for this. The initial rebellion by... No, I gotta look it up. I gotta look up his fucking name. 1836, California... Lone Star... Killing me. Fucking killing me. Lone Star. Just Lone Star of California. Lone Star... Reading about this history... sucks. Juan Alvarado, not Alvarez. Yeah, Juan Alvarado. Juan Batista Alvarado. This is the guy. Real charmer. This is the guy in charge of California right now. Alta California. He was El Presidente of Alta California, which wasn't recognized in 1836 and 1837. In late 1837... Here we go. Stage of revolt, forced Gutierrez out of the county. His coup wrote up a constitution, adopted a new flag. Look at that flag. Very fancy. It's homemade, it's humble, but like it's got some character to it. It really does. Single red star on a white background. Neither were used after Alvarado made peace with Mexico. At 27, he was then appointed governor, but the city council of LA protested. Alvarado, Castro, and Grande went south, negotiated a compromise after 3 months, barely avoiding a civil war with Southern California. However, the city council of San Diego was then pissed. And then Mexico government became involved, and there were rumors the Mexican army was about to step in. Alvarado was able to negotiate another compromise to keep the peace and stop Mexican intervention. Mexico then reneged on the agreement, appointing Carlos Antonio Carrillo, who was very popular among Southern Californios, on the 6th of December, 1837. So this is basically what the event is for. This time, however, civil war broke out, and after several battles, Carrillo was forced out. Mexico relented and recognized Alvarado as the governor. So we're not perfectly representing this in game, right? It's a little too complicated. Vicky 2 is really lacking the intricacies to get into it, but that's what, in effect, I'm trying to tease at and demonstrate by having California be independent, because it was at play. When Alvarado did first seize county buildings, I think San Diego was, Monterey was taken with a single cannon shot, allegedly, but he was helped by some Americanos, some gringos, because the gringos we were trying to just poke and prod and invade everywhere we could at any opportunity, any drop of the hat. So now California will not immediately apply for statehood. I've given it till... Why the fuck did I do this? Oh, yeah. I've given it an 1840 date just so they didn't do what Texas did just then and offer it preemptively. Shit. You're gonna beat me to the punch. Yeah, you're gonna beat me to the punch. This is a fun game to play. The British influence is 62.2. Our investment is decreasing that, but we have been discredited, so that's decreasing ours, but we border them, but they don't. We were banned. Okay, fair enough. You can get California, or that's what this is called. This is called California. You can get Canada. It's just a pain in the ass. Oh, okay. No, you're gonna break apart. Yeah, you start out without cores on Nicaragua or Costa Rica. It's not hopeless that you keep control. I mean, you have Guatemala, you got El Salvador, you got Honduras. That's something. It's not, this. That's not bad. I mean, to be fair, Mexico should really get an event at some point if you manage to retake all of this. There's so much work I want to do with Mexico, and we're not even done with the United States. I keep getting sidetracked with like, well, I want to do this with Mexico. I want to do this with Central America. I want to poke, and still never finishing the fucking thing I set out to do at the beginning. But Mexico should have the ability to get claims on territories of the first Mexican Empire. The first Empire, Mexico, de jure, had claims over Central America all the way down to Colombia, but did not press them. What are we doing now? I still want to see Rio Grande fire off. Yeah, I really need to see that. I want to see Rio Grande happen. And after that, I think we're good to kind of quit. What do I need? 1 infantry, 5 artillery. Delightful. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can I get that infantry from... Nope. Okay. So in that last test game I was showing where I annexed Canada in like the 1850s. It was a great time. When the Civil War happened, the CSA consisted of Cuba. That's it. The Confederacy was Cuba. It was, needless to say, a weird fucking time. So all I did was blockade Cuba, land a couple of troops, and the war was over. And so the CSA corps on mainland United States never existed. I never had a real problem with, like, any kind of militancy after that. I just somehow really dodged the entire event. The reason for that is I had gotten a couple of those broken-ass party scandal events that are cooked into HPM. And, dude, those just fuck with the United States so much if you have them happen. So I've gutted those events so they do way less than they used to. Okay, now we wait? Now we wait, yeah. There's slavery debate, delightful. When are we unbanned? Couple months, few months. You're sitting at 15%, can I top that? I don't know, man. I don't know, that actually is kind of a tough ask. It may have been that we got California, but we're gonna lose out on Canada for the foreseeable future. I do like that. I do like that. That's an interesting trade-off. You shouldn't really be able to get Canada as easily as you can. You can really sneakily grab Canada from the British. Wait, I'm confused. What do I normally research here? I thought... Did we just get those done super early? I think we did. Yes. Weird. Okay, yeah. Idealism's normally what I... You know what? Just get inorganic chemistry. We're gonna be at war with Mexico, probably, and you not eating attrition sounds nice. Is it the best choice for the economy? No. But I'm not even gonna fight through the Mexican-American War. I'm gonna get up to Rio Grande, and that's probably it. I just pulled that out of Massachusetts. Give me the one from Massachusetts. Thank you. Now, what I tend to do is intervene on behalf of the Republic of Rio Grande when they do declare independence, which, again, is very ahistorical. The United States didn't even intervene for Texas. It took until, what, 1845 for the United States to finally be like, yeah, no, we want Texas, which pissed Mexico off. Understandably, the Republic of Rio Grande got military support from Texas, but Texas also didn't fully commit to supporting them because Texas wanted recognition of its independence from Mexico at the time. It was this great cascade of, like, Texas did to Rio Grande what had been done to Texas by the United States. Like, yeah, when we were fighting a war of independence, we really needed help. And it was bad that we didn't get it. But now that you're fighting a war of independence, well, you know, I guess we can see it from the other side now. And it's just, you know, it's not politically convenient. We're gonna steal Canada. Look at this. Look at this. These sons of bitches don't care now. Earlier, they were all about cock-blocking me. But no. All right. American Canada, baby. Now, we can't immediately get Canada, right? What we have to wait for is an event that is completely randomized, could happen now, could happen never, where we can take Canada out of the sphere of influence of the United Kingdom. Now, we could declare war on the United Kingdom to remove them from the British sphere. Totally an option. If you're really looking to expedite annexing Canada, that's the way you do it. Good fucking luck winning that war early on. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, boop, 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 boop. This is not Britain. This is the East India Empire Company right now, who have no cores anywhere. They're pretty bad at administrating their territory, and they don't stick around for that long. They really don't. Oftentimes, this will result in... I've seen the United Kingdom get in a forever war with the Sikh Empire here and never actually send troops. I've seen some weird shit happen. You know, I kind of want to be saving up these Diplo points. Yeah, let's do that. Mexico start any wars? No. It's weird. Normally Mexico's a little belligerent. Well, I can't say normally. Mexico can be. There we go. Mexico can be quite belligerent here. But they're not really being belligerent right now. By belligerent, I mean, in the past I've seen them go very gung-ho trying to get the rest of their cores up here. But I am making it kind of clear. Oh, yeah, I re-enabled when a state is annexed by the United States, or offers statehood. The event, by design, gives you all of the cores of that previous state. You inherit those cores as well. I had disabled that. I've re-enabled it. I had disabled it because I didn't like the United States getting any revanchism early on, but you get a shit ton of it anyway, and it actually feeds into making reactionaries and conservatives more popular, which they should be. So it's fine. It's not what I want exactly, but it's fine. Wow. We're still... Yeah, okay, we're in a major depression. I'm like, wait, our economy blows right now. Oh, no, there's Los Altos. So what happens is Guatemala gets an event to declare independence, and they take it. And Los Altos does. And then El Salvador is the only one left, and then they eat it. Okay, so this still happens. I think I may just get rid of the rebels at the beginning. I may just cut those rebels entirely or reduce it down to like 1 stack, because they beat the rebels. The rebels are not the reason why the country fell apart. The event chain is the reason why the country fell apart, which is good, which is what should happen. As a player, you can avoid the event chain. Reduce United States of Central America rebels again. Love to see it. Okay, it is 1840. There it is. No slavery in California. Looking good. Now we got claims on a lot of stuff. Notably, though, we do not have claims on the territory of New Mexico. Nuevo Mexico. I mean, this part of New Mexico, Texas claimed, but the Albuquerque part of New Mexico and Santa Fe part, or Santa Fe along here, the Texans did not have the audacity to claim, nor did the Californians, nor did, as we will see, the this does make any future war with Mexico very awkward, though. Los Alton war to humiliate Guatemala. You want to humiliate Guatemala, you want to re-annex it. Yeah. And Guatemala historically won this war. They should be able to win this war. I think they lose this war, though. I'm fairly sure the game does not handle this well. Now, the year is 1840. We should see the Republic of Rio Grande get its debut. Should see it. There it is. Bam. Okay, form an alliance. They will accept. Fantastic. Sort by priority. Colombia, well, we'll talk to you later. Canada, you're already in my sphere, so I don't need to fuck with that. Rio Grande, do you have... Listen, I am hemorrhaging money, but how would you like some American railroads? I bet you'd love that. Rio Grande immediately gets an event, yep, where they can claim their claims. Good. Rio Grande was only a coalition of, oh god, 4 states in here, 3 or 4 states in here. Them having Laredo is actually kind of maybe accurate, maybe inaccurate. It was mostly around Matamoros. But this is what HPM gave them to start out with. But the Republic of Rio Grande claimed a lot of Durango, claimed a lot of Chihuahua, like all of it, and they also claimed New Mexico. Why? I have no idea. I haven't been able to find a source explaining these claims. I've just found maps showing the territorial claims of the Republic of Rio Grande. So that's why they have this. Now, you'll see they start out with no army. They don't have a lot of army to draw up, so Mexico wins this war. If you don't intervene, Mexico always wins this war. There are no events like those for Texas where they get a, you know, get out of jail free card. No, they just die. They just lose quite badly. So guess what? We're funding the military, and we gotta find a way to pay for everything. So we're taxing the middle class, and we're still losing 100 per day. I'm gonna have to cut administrative spending or something. Let me intervene. Let me intervene. Oh, right, we're not friendly with you yet. That's really funny. Now, often, this war, once it turns against Mexico... Yeah, we're only cordial. You actually do kind of have to rush here a little bit. Damn. Cut that to 50%. We're gonna have to cut education funding? Oh god, it's too real. It's too real. But you cut administration, then your tax efficiency goes down, then you have to cut cut funding more. Please, any day now. What are we actually at with you? Okay, it is literally any day now. You're friendly, I can intervene, just in time to make sure you don't lose Laredo. Hey, Mexico, you want to immediately end this war? Okay, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. We gotta win this battle, and then you will. Boom. Now, generally, if you do what I'm doing, I really gotta update the version of the mod I posted to, I posted. If you do what I'm doing, you want this war to end as quickly as fucking possible. Why? Guns across the border? Not my problem. You want this war to be over immediately so that you no longer have a truce with Mexico and you can create the Manifest Destiny stuff. When do you get there? 27, 28. So you can pass the Manifest Destiny decision to get your claims going on. Okay. Now you want to quit? Still not into it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Your mistake, your funeral. Okay, how about now? How about now? Seems like things aren't going so hot for you. You would not accept this offer. Okay. Just siege those back and, you know, we'll talk. We'll talk, you know. How about now? Yeah, you're goddamn right. Status quo, baby! And then we walk you back here. Actually, you know what? Just stay here. Because I'm fairly confident. Oh right, you're not actually in my sphere yet. Go home. Go home, gringos. We won the war, but we don't live here yet. Provisional Government of Oregon. Now, Rio Grande, you should... You should give the event soon that makes you annex. Unless I changed the date on that, which is entirely possible that I did that and simply don't remember. You know what? Let's check. Let's check. We're gonna resign. We're gonna go here. We're gonna pop in here. Now, Mexico doesn't always declare war on the Republic of Rio Grande. Sometimes they just let them go. They have a 10% chance to say, fuck it, this isn't worth it, and let them go. Just like they have a 90% chance to let Yucatan go, but why? The United States, any owned province, any owned province of the United States rebels. United States of America, any owned province in the United States, any core province, rebels have no units in the province. They definitely don't, dude. Excuse me? Maybe we get rid of that part, because that seems... Is it toggle FOW? Oh my god. It's not... Is it... Debug foe! Debug foe! That's what it is. Debug! But I don't have claims on this. I don't have cores on that, right? Yeah, I don't. And there are no rebels any... I'm not clear on why that isn't happening. Seems weird. I definitely have no rebels. Maybe we just comment that shit out. This is not a common problem. So, we'll get Rio Grande whenever that changes. And it will change. I don't know why it's being that way right now, but that's fine. Oh, thank you. It would make sense if it were the infamy thing. But we don't actually have infamy right now. Now, they won't offer to join the United States if you have a certain level of infamy. But we do not have that at the moment. I hate this fucking event. So like I said, this is a way tuned down. And it's still fucking broken. God, I hate this event. I may just delete this entire series. The Conservative Party rocked by scandal. All pops in the United States of America, where below is not a colonial state and conservative, is at least 10%, nothing. Because what it did was it reduced party loyalty, and it would reduce party loyalty to a negative value, oftentimes, which shouldn't happen. If you decrease party loyalty to a negative value, you make it so that party almost never gets into power ever again. Not for like 10 years or 20 years, but the entire fucking 100 years of the game. Yeah, nah, just, I'm just gonna cut these. I'm just gonna cut scandal events entirely? Question mark. I'm okay. Yeah. All right. Well, good. I needed to see that my fix didn't fix it. Shit's still broken. I don't know why. Well, I want Rio Grande to rejoin so we get all those cores. It's really funny. The only cores you don't get as a result of all these claims is Sonora. Sonora is just like very much Mexico. Why doesn't Sonora have cores on Sonora? Okay, so Sonora is a tag. Add Sonora cores to... Sonora is a tag. It's not even a tag I added. But it looks like they don't actually have any cores anywhere. And as they don't have any cores anywhere, you can't create them. 2137. 2141. And that's all of actual Sonora. At the time? Fuck, I need to... Mexico. Wait. Yes. Give me this. Give me this. Yeah, that is Sonora at the time. Baja's its own thing. And Sonora's its own thing. And I think it's the, yeah, there's the Republic of Rio Grande. The Republic of Rio Grande had a... Nope. That doesn't actually link to, That's okay. So these, yeah, this states of Coahuila, Coahuila, I can never pronounce this, Nuevo Leon, and Tamaulipas declare independence, claiming all the shit in red. All the shit in red was claimed by Texas. Chihuahua, Durango, and the rest of New Mexico up here was claimed by the Republic of Rio Grande. Meanwhile, California is basically just de jure they're a part of Mexico, but anytime Mexico tries to execute any kind of control over them, they throw their hands up. Yucatan is just about to declare independence. Yep, there's a Republic of Yucatan. We haven't seen that here, or it happened so quickly that Yucatan got eaten again. Well, they somehow avoided it. Good for them, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of the provision that the United States doesn't have any... That's so weird. So, let's go take a look at... Let's save, I guess. Save and take a look at what exactly is red, and make some sense of what's being miscommunicated here. Something's awry. So, the event we want to look at. Decision, even. Apply for USA statehood 6 title. It's the 5th one. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't even have the documents open right now. Wow. 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 Very Owen Wilson sound. 1, 5, 6. So, USA, not any owned province, any core, any owned province, country units in province, rebel. Number of revolts, less than 1. That seems to be the problem, eh? So bizarre. Any owned province, any core, any owned province, rebels have no province, any province. So clearly that's just not working. That's not my code. That's the vanilla code that I've just copied. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with cutting this. I'm fine with cutting this. This means nothing to me. I'm not gonna, like, gut it entirely. I say gutting it entirely. I'm not gonna delete the lines. I'm gonna keep the lines in if I can somehow make sense of why the fuck this was in place. But the United States did not have any revolts, and yet that was somehow being triggered. So this is not good. This is very not good. Hey, you can see Newfoundland. You gotta wait until 1870. Maritimes, Columbia, as in British Columbia, and the Red River Colony, 1860. 1849 for Quebec, not Cuba. Cuba, you cannot, will never ask for statehood anymore. California, Sonora, and Rio Grande will do it immediately in the 1840s. So it's hilarious. I have Sonora in here. I never fucking checked if Sonora was a thing. This is so bizarre. Like, Explorer. Okay, there we go. HPM, common, countries, Sonora. You can tell by the date I didn't make this. my edits start on like 5/5/20. These 2 8s, these are all West Virginia. West Virginia's the state in here? I didn't even know that. They definitely don't have any, Oh, right, there's some... I got rid of the weird way that this could happen. This exists! This exists, but it never actually... They went the trouble of coming up with names? No, they just copied the... I think they just copied the Mexico names. But still, Sonora's a thing. So let's make it a thing, huh? HPM, history, provinces, Mexico. I want 2140, 2141, 2137. Sonora. It is son. It's SON, huh? That's Sonora's code. What up, son? It sure is. And then we gotta add one to 102 in the United States. So we go provinces, USA. Error. It's not in here. It's in Mexico because it actually starts out in Mexico. Yeah, there it is, Tucson. Okay, so Tucson, or Sonora, will it ever revolt? No, it won't. Sonora did under, a general whose name I don't remember, did revolt, but it was not an independence revolt. It was a constitutional reform revolt. And this is such an annoying distinction you have to make with Victoria 2 and a lot of paradox titles. California technically declared independence. Alta California technically was declaring war of independence. What ended up placating California was some more liberties and the governorship going to this one specific guy. Meanwhile, Texas declared independence, and the only thing that ever would have gotten Texas to stay in would be if if Texas had been able to maintain slavery. But you can't have that kind of nuance in rebel groups in Victoria 2. Like, these rebels will secede unless you concede to, some changes. Kind of like in EU4, you can make some concessions without them straight up declaring independence. Sort of more like that is a lot closer to an accurate representation of what happened. Alas, we don't have that, so wah wah. Beep, bop, bop, bop. Let's take a look at those scandal events. I even have the scandal events still pulled up. So, what that was party scandal conservative that we had happen? Okay. So, I fucking hate these events. Straight up, I don't like them. But they trigger if you are civilized, you don't have state press, you don't have underground parties, brewing party scandal, or party scandal evidence, which is this crisis ongoing. Your administration spending is less than 95%. You can tell this is written for vanilla Victoria 2 because administrative spending of 100% early on is incredibly difficult in modded in HPM. And having any sort of an army and any other kind of expenses and not just like taxing the hell out of your people is very hard to do this early on in the game. So you'll get these scandals a lot early on and then never again. If you're playing right, and I really hate that. But whatever. What does it actually do? Well, event. We lose prestige. Add. Yeah, okay, that's fair. So what this used to do was... this is my fault. What this used to do was it reduced party loyalty. And then I cut out the part referring to party loyalty. So now all it does is nothing. All it does now is call for any pop with an ideology. No, wait a minute. What? Oh, I copied the wrong part on this. Okay, no, this does do a thing. I just deleted the thing that did a thing for conservatives. Okay, no. I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. I'm smarter than this. Okay, any pop ideology, conservative, -5. It's just supposed to be a -5% conservative to any pops in the country. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. But for conservatives, I deleted the wrong part of the code. Now I gotta go double check the rest of these to make sure my dumbass didn't just keep some unnecessary code in place. No, that's all right. All right. Well, cool. I can't blame the event. That was me butchering the event and then never fixing it. And let's take a look at. Do I still have the rebels pulled up? No, I gotta pull the rebels back up. Let's history units. REB. We want to look at rebels. Rabbles. There we go. We want the rabbles. See, these Nicaraguan rebels, they didn't really exist, is the thing. There were no... Guatemala had rebels, had conservative rebels, which were not really conservative rebels. They were, like, driven into action by conservatives in the priesthood, but they were really just, like, indigenous people who were desperate and lied to a lot, and, like, I don't know, man, it was a very confusing situation. I'm sure for people at the time, it's even more fucking confusing being a gringo in the 21st century trying to read on what happened, and all I have are, like, really bad translations to go on. So, I'm just gonna cut this way the fuck down. You'll start out with a couple. These will be there to represent that there are tensions and conflict going on, but even after Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica seceded, even after Guatemala seceded, the army that they sent to El Salvador to be like, hey, bitch, we're out, was less than 3,000 people. It was around 3,500, which is the size of one regiment in game. Even at the worst point, when the United States of Central America, or the Federal Republic of Central America, was falling apart, one regiment worth of troops is what we're talking about. And they lost. They just fell apart to not being able to project power, not because people came and like sacked the capital or whatever. Though they tried. So we'll keep these. The AI will be able to do away with them, but as we saw, the AI sucks. And it'll lose anyway, which is great. Which is what should happen. It feels bad, man, but just to prove that well, no, we saw Mexico had this excellently named California event with no flavor text at all. Here's the Alvarado coup, which you can never see. There's actually descriptive text for this in in game. No, that's Mexico order of battle. Why would it be in there, Alex? It wouldn't. I was talking about the Texan order of battle, kind of wanting to fuck with this. So they start out with Travis's command, Fannon's command, and Burleson's command. I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look at what Victoria 2 does here. Because I'm pretty sure they also fucked this up. It's not in common. It's in history. History, units, Tejas. Give me Tejas. Yeah, they got Travis's, Fannon's, and Burleston's. That's a guard unit? Fuck off! Okay. My reaction may seem a little extra, but... So each of those regiments in-game is 3,000 men, right? In reality, Texas didn't even have enough to fill one fucking regiment. They had 2,000 men. Mexico, on the other hand, had almost 7,000. They both had a lot of deaths, but Texas never had this big standing army. I mean, it's a push thing that they had an artillery command at all, because they didn't. They had a couple of pieces of artillery, but like, they didn't. Ugh. I'm so frustrated by this. I really wish that you could make, in the style of later games like Hearts of Iron 4, make regiments smaller, because that way you could actually, there we go, really realistically portray the forces and the makeup of the Republic of Texas in its infancy, rather than just being like, I don't know, give them a cavalry and a guard unit and some artillery, when in reality they were a bunch of like poorly armed, poorly disciplined, not heavily armed, but poorly disciplined fucking rednecks and hillbillies from Tennessee, Kentucky, and southern parts of the United States who decided to go into Mexico in this Texas territory, own slaves, and then get real pissed off when Mexico said, whoa, you can't do that, and then declare independence. I mean, they had some artillery, not much. They had some horses, not much. They didn't have like a fucking regiment of horses. It's it's just insane. So what does reducing this to infantry do? Let's look practically at what I'm doing. Victoria to land units. And so we can rationalize this. So cavalry, and they started out as these, which makes even less sense than cavalry. These are more expensive, more organized troops. So they've been demoted from cavalry to infantry. They gained organization. That's not good. I should probably do a regular. They're slower now, not by much. Build speed doesn't matter. Their supply cost is less. Though, no, they have a higher supply cost in ammunition and canned food. I might make them irregulars. The big loss in going from here is these have 6 attack, 5 defense, down to 5 attack, 5 defense, but importantly, maneuver. Maneuver is so that they can attack the one in front of them and then off to either direction, either like 1 or 2. Cavalry are really good because they flank and they can hit a lot of things. They do splash damage. It's not splash damage. They cleave. They don't really cleave. They have reach. There we go. That's a better word for it. They have reach, which is what maneuver is, whereas infantry units don't. Their average damage is about 15.5, so we've reduced the average damage by 0.5 by making them into infantry. I am hesitant at removing the artillery. It's ahistoric, but artillery's super fucking good. It's very, very good in a support capacity. But if you only have... Yeah, fuck it. If you only have 3 units, you don't have a back line to put that artillery into. So let's our form artillery. Artillery is ERY, right? Okay, I was in my head about it being ARY or ERY. Okay, Travis had the cav. This is just for my formerly cavalry. The fact that cavalry and cavalry are 2 words sucks. Just sucks. Okay, so we've nerfed Texas a little bit. I mean, functionally, that army will be doing less damage, but its upkeep will be greatly reduced in terms of cost. It'll be more defensible than it used to be, which is really the thing Texas's army should be. It should have defensive ability, but it shouldn't be very fast. There's still way too fucking many of them, but I think Texas loses if you give them fewer troops than this, so that's why I'm not doing it. Yeah, the USCA has this long event chain where they just kind of fall apart. And so this, okay, Costa Rica, let's look at this so I can understand. I've glanced at this a little bit, trying to understand how this worked, but I didn't really care that much to dig into it. So Costa Rica declares independence. What happens? You're the UCA. You exist. What? Exists equals yes. Okay, you're not at war. Owns. Okay, no, I have notes. I have notes, actually. Because I wrote up a vague outline of how I would do it. Costa Rica's all the way here at the end. Costa Rica. Costa Rica is in 1838. Okay, but the trigger is you exist. You're not at war. You own this province. You don't have... Costa Rica doesn't exist, and it's never declared independence. Okay, or Nicaragua exists, or any own province is controlled by rebels for at least 60 days. Okay, well that makes sense. And then you have 1 month mean time to happen modifier factor of 24 if you... No, that doesn't really make sense to me. That has global flag, the USCA has failed. Because this option is add country modifier, unrecognized country. No? Okay, whatever. Nicaragua. Okay, so this is dependent on Nicaragua, right? Yes. Is that... Well, no, it should be Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica. But that's okay for now. That's okay for now. Next up in Nicaragua. Again, there's no year in here. Year needs to be 1838. Because Nicaragua was still 38. Yeah, all three of these were in 38 in quick succession. Okay. This is dependent on Honduras. Maybe they're onto something that I'm not. I thought it was Nicaragua first. Am I wrong about this? No. 1837. Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica opposed the move and used as an opportunity to leave the Union. Congress tried to restore life to the federal government by control of custom revenues to the federal government. But Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica didn't like the centralizing move, so they used it as an opportunity to leave. The order in which they left is a little unclear. Just a little unclear. Could we go to... He was exiled as rebels from Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua entered San Salvador, evicting the governing institutions that held the region together. Kind of true, partially true, but those rebels... Those rebels, in 39, when Guatemalan conservatives learned about their new role, they declared war on El Salvador, personified the old federation, the reason they vowed to defeat him. Guatemala and Nicaragua signed a treaty of alliance against this government. Carrera called on the Salvadorian people to rise against their government. Calls resulted in small uprisings, but these were quickly put down without much effort. When the attempt failed, the enemies forced an army of Nicaraguan and Honduran troops. These forces invaded El Salvador and faced his army during the Battle of San Pedro Pelolupan. General needed 600, only needed, so you can tell the whoever wrote this article is a little biased, needed 600 Salvadorians to defeat a 2,000-man army commanded by Francisco Ferreira, Nicolas de Espinosa, and Manuel Quijano. After their defeat, the humiliated generals and their troops fled to neighboring states. Fascinating that one accounting can be like, oh yeah, the invading troops just like totally got their ass kicked. And then another account of the exact same thing are, oh no, they won. What the fuck, Central America? The mod that I've been working on is just making it more historically accurate. And there's a long series of videos on my YouTube channel going into like all the hundreds of ways I'm doing it. But what I'm trying to figure out today is if the existing in-game HPM events for the dissolution of the United States of Central America or the Federal Republics of Central America is historically accurate. The thing, I'm not sure if Honduras or Nicaragua should be the one to leave first. They have Honduras leaving first, but it might have been Nicaragua. It's really hard to tell. Yeah, this mod adds dozens of indigenous nations to North America, events relating to the annexation and expansion of the United States across the West, expanded federalization, civil wars in Mexico. I'm working on some stuff with making Central America make more sense right now. There are events, at least one event per year from 1836 to 1935 in the United States. On average, there's about 4 or 5 new events per year. There are a dozen or so new decisions. It's a lot, yeah. There's a lot of new content that I've added. So, okay, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's what North America looked like. In actuality, you know, Europeans liked painting all this blue and all this red, like, but the local indigenous governments and nations were more effective at projecting power in these areas than the Yankees or the English or the Mexicans were at that time. So it's more accurate to paint them on like this. Borders and maps are such ridiculous fucking things. Like, the idea that the authority of one government of people and one group of people end at a river or a mountain is never entirely accurate. They're very, you know, idyllic manifestations of more complicated power relations, power projection, force, conflict, yada yada yada. Yeah, North America was a wonderful patchwork. I mean, if you go to, let's see. Oh, fuck me. I can't. There's a really great resource out there that is just a map of... Oh, you can... It is kind of a suicidal game to play as natives. You can try. Like, we can hop in here and look. But armed resistance to European expansion in North America was kind of a losing battle after like 1800. We're after the point where Tecumseh's war failed, where coalition after coalition after coalition of indigenous nations were fighting a much smaller, weaker America. At this point, a very talented player might be able to, but it's very unlikely. Even the largest battles in the 19th century between the United States and the Dakota and Lakota or the Comanche, or Shoshone, Paiute, the Nez Perce, or the various other groups in here that had legit wars between them and the United States. Rarely did they ever have more than 1,000 troops. Rarely did they ever inflict more than a few hundred casualties on either side, which is still noteworthy in real life. That's a lot of people. In the context of the game, where the smallest unit size is 3,000 people, it just doesn't really fit, which is unfortunate, which is honestly really unfortunate. Victoria 2 just doesn't lend itself well to that small of a scope of nation. It seems like Victoria 3 will be a lot better. And at this point, that's a lot of the work I'm doing, is just setting up the logical framework to transition over to that. But also, it's just an excuse to read, an excuse to learn, an excuse to study history a little bit better on my own. So El Salvador didn't declare independence until 1840, right? El Salvador was the last one to leave, 1841, as a matter of fact. I'd love it if you could, like, successfully resist American imperialism, but it's just not realistic when on one hand you have a nation of millions of people, and on the other hand you have maybe tens of thousands in the biggest nations and biggest alliances. Okay, well, there's the USCA, and those are really all the changes I wanted to fuck with for today. I think. Right, there's nothing... I get the feeling there was something else I talked about changing, but no, I think that's it. We ran a test game, everything Annex is pretty okay. Oh, you know what? Let's hop in here and make sure this works. Yep, okay, immediately applied. Great, okay. So, what we have going on in 1841 in the test game that we run today is wildly ahistoric. You have to go into it with some pretty... You gotta know the game mechanics to be able to do this, but you can seal California when they're having their secession crisis. You can grab Rio Grande if you know that it's coming. You can get Texas pretty easily, actually. And you can steal Canada from the United Kingdom if you do it right. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, are these cores... No, these cores have not been added in. Unfortunately, that's the one thing you can't fix. The history files, once you start a game, don't write over anything, but the events and decisions do update, unloading a save. So that's cool. And now we have a bunch of fucking cores, which justify further American expansion. Which makes sense, which is good, because, like, prior to the annexation of Texas, the idea that the United States border should go along here, along the Rio Grande, was not conceived of. Right? The prior treaty had this roughly as the agreed border, right? So too, it would make sense that if Rio Grande, the Republic of Rio Grande, were incorporated, then the claims of Rio Grande would become the new considered natural border. And so too with California. I like it. I love it. It's great. I think we're done for the day. I gotta go and do the fucking 20th century events. They're just so depressing. They're just so fucking depressing. But, you know, I've been working on some stuff. For the time being. Something better than nothing. But I think this is it for today. We tested some stuff out. Nothing seems too broken. Early games running real smooth. And you'll love to see it. I don't know when I will be back with more me streaming or recording me yawn working on the mod, because I just do it whenever I feel like, and it's been hot as hell, so I've been sleeping a lot rather than doing anything. I want to do the 20th century events, which I had a stream a couple weeks ago where we plotted most of those out. And it looks pretty good. What else do I want to work on that I might justify doing? Oh yeah, there are a couple of wars involving the United States that haven't been included. Nothing too major, but a couple like colonialist wars that we could include. The William Walker invasion of Nicaragua, we never did. I need to put checks in the existing filibuster events to make sure that they won't fire if the United States somehow already has Sonora or Cuba. We need an event for Andersonville Prison. Talk about depressing. I like to flesh out the rebellions in Mexico a little bit better. Really want to work on Hawaiian annexation and at least give some flavor for that. But we're nearing the end here. I mean, I have to do the 1910s, 20s, 30s, but that's not much. Or 19aughts, 1910s, 1920s, 1930s. But that's still not much. I just don't want to do it right now. So, until whenever, I'm going to say thanks for hanging out. Until then, I'm going to say toodaloo. Take care. See ya then. Bye-bye.